Record to the computer. All right, we're live. So good evening, guys. Excited about our call tonight. We've got two rock stars who attended our Isagenix event in Disney, and I can't wait to highlight them and hear from them. So let me mute everybody. Hang on one second. Mute all. There we go. So when it's your turn to talk or you have something to say, just unmute yourself. So as always, our typical agenda, we'll start out tonight with some shout outs and recognition. I know we didn't have a call last Sunday because I believe I was en route home from a Super Saturday. Was that last Sunday? I'm like, I can't keep my weeks straight. Time flies. So we'll do some shout outs, and then we're going to get, I'd love to get some insights from Melva and Tammy on their trip. They can spend as much time as they want, giving us major FOMO so we don't miss out on the next trip. And then I'd love to spend a little bit of time talking about power closing. I had kind of an aha last night. Was it yesterday already that we just had a call, Melva? I swear, time is, I can't keep it straight. We just had a call last night. And it dawned on me that maybe we should, we've got some folks on the team who've really been strong in closing and enrolling lately. And it's always important that as people are on fire and doing things that we hear from them. And so I'd love to hear from some of the folks who are rapidly enrolling right now. I think Tammy Fry has been on the hot seat enrolling like crazy. Jennifer has, Christine if she gets on, and I'm happy to share my 2 cents as well. But I think that many of us get close to the finish line and then have a hard time closing because many of us, it's not our personality coming into this business. And so we're going to talk about that. And that's it. We may get done a little early tonight, so we'll see. So I'm going to go first with shout outs because I personally have 2 people I want to recognize that have recently come into the organization, and that's Sindra Yang. I wanted to give her a huge shout out for going consultant. She put in 2 value packs in 1 week and cycled, I believe, twice. And she also put in her 3rd enrollment today, or yesterday maybe, enrolled her uncle, who she reached out to or communicated with weeks ago, and she thought he had just kind of gone ghost on her, and he reached back out. And that's the beauty of staying consistent. I saw your post today, Sandra, on cooking in the kitchen and creating brand for yourself, right, around health and wellness. And it's actually no surprise that your uncle reached back out to you because part of it is just staying consistent. So huge shout out to you. I also have Kim Little on the team who I recently enrolled. I don't think she's on the line tonight, but I wanted to give her a huge shout out too. She went consultant just a couple minutes ago and cycled 2 times. And so she's a Amgen farm rep out of Atlanta who joined around the same time you did, Sandra. So just a huge shout out there. I also want to give a shout out to Christine and Susanna that I don't think are on the line right now, but just for getting uncomfortable and maximizing time together. You know, Christine had to fly to Miami last week while her mom had surgery on her back. And, you know, Christine just doesn't waste time. She told Susanna to put her big girl shoes on, and I say big girl panties, but and let's go do an event together. I'm here. Let's do this. And they showed up and they had an event and it looked amazing. And I'm sure it gave Susanna the confidence. Now Christine came in as a leader and showed her how she could do it. And now Christine's back in LA, but she maximized that time in Miami with her. And now she can go back and do it again because now she knows how to do it. And last but not least, a huge shout out to Jennifer Bartram, Tammy Fry, and Heather Fry, and Becky, and the entire Ohio team. I don't know if Cindy Scott's on the line or anybody else that you guys want to recognize. Even Heather's husband, who was extremely supportive. Jennifer's husband. I mean, it was her kids. I mean, if your kids were on the line, I'd give them a shout out too. It was a family affair and support with making that event a huge hit. You guys had massive enrollments come out of that. I think I counted like 8 or 10 enrollments post that event, like within 36 to 48 hours. I know you had some consultants that popped. It's just incredible what you guys did. So huge shout out there. Now I'm going to shut my mouth and give you guys a chance to do your own team shout outs or any recognition that you want to give. Just make sure you unmute yourself before you come on. Oh, wait, one more. I know I did these on Global Exec, but I'm doing them now. Blady Baldwin and Lorena, these girls rocked a call last Sunday. They took my verbiage and some of their own and created their own Spanish version of the opportunity, the 21st century, the business in the 21st century. Instead of complaining about not having the tools and resources to do a business overview, they just made one. Blady was messaging me while I'm at my Super Saturday with Jennifer in Ohio, and she's like, give me your Zoom link so we can record this bad boy and use it again. And they were just hustling, and Christine's hustling, and everybody was just hustling. Even Karam, who's not on the line, but he went to an LA Super Saturday that weekend. I mean, you guys were busy. You were everywhere. So huge shout out to you, Blady. I know that you guys are hooking up with the Mexico team with Carol Elizabeth now and folding in with her. And I'm excited to see where you guys go with this. So, okay, now I'm going to shut up. Turn it over to you guys. Any other shout outs you guys want to give? Just unmute yourself while I drink my kombucha.
I just unmuted myself. I have my team's on fire and I'm pumped about it. I have Jenny Feeler. She's a new one. She should be her crystal manager on her own, so she's started very soon. And she has the most fun, the best team, young team starting below her downline, just having a blast. So she's excited, and we've got some awesome things in the work. And Becky Godwin too. Becky's already got it planned out. She keeps me on target. We've got some dates down. We've got some things figured out. She's got some big plans. So she's working some of her downline. So both of them, and have David Williamson, who's on the line. He's wanting to get his business started. And I think I've got a couple other ones, but I'm just super excited about that. And Becky and her husband were hugely helpful again at our event. And Jenny was just enrolling and had people enrolling that weekend. And her daughter Ryan, I think, is on right now. And she's already had a huge transformation with her husband. So there we go. Fun times in Ohio.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Isn't it fun? All that energy. It's just exciting. Jenny, it was such a pleasure to meet you. And Becky, your husband was so sweet and such a dream to be such a testimony to our performance line too, with being in kind of endurance sports with cycling and stuff like that. It was just great. It was incredible for sure. All right. And welcome everybody who's new from Jennifer's team. Sorry that I'm in my pajamas with no makeup and sweaty hair. All right, who's next? Any other shout outs? Good.
I'm not sure what Tammy's got going on, but I see Cindy Scott on the line. She and her husband were also hugely helpful at our event. So I just wanted to give them a little bit of love and just thank them so much for Cindy being super consistent. And I would guess she's one of Tammy's top enrollers right now. So woohoo!
That's awesome. Yeah, it was such a great team effort. They had folks making shakes and passing them out. And Jennifer, I think your mom was at the front, taking your boys taking, what do you call it? When you're signing in, the sign-in sheets and stuff like that. It was just incredible. It was a huge team effort, and it was just beautiful. I actually made a post about it on LinkedIn. You should check it out. You guys are all over it. Cool. All right. Any other shout outs before we dive into Tammy and Jennifer sharing their experience at Disney, giving us some major FOMO? Any other shout outs? All right, let's go. Jennifer, you want to go first? I'm not sure where Tammy went. Oh, there she is.
I think Tammy wants to talk. I think she wanted to give a shout out. I saw her raise her hand.
Okay, Tammy, go for it. Unmute yourself, girlfriend.
Hey, I'm like getting on. I just wanted to shout out to Cindy too, as well, because she enrolled 2 people during the Super Saturday, enrolled 2, double PIV. She's doing fantastic. So it seems like it's been so long ago now.
I know, right?
And thanks again, Melissa, for coming.
Sure.
We appreciate you and putting forth all your effort and everything. You were a great big help. And Becky and Jennifer and yeah, like you mentioned, Heather and John, everybody
Yeah.
just
You're always
really
somebody.
helped. Yes, our
Thank you guys, Sarah.
family, Jennifer's kids.
Yeah.
They're just, everybody's just awesome. Appreciate everybody so much.
Well, you know, guys, and this is a good segue before we get into our content for learning and action, but and that is when you see the output, when you see these enrollments coming in from these events, it's leveraging tools. So you hear that Cindy put in 2 enrollments that weekend. Well, surely they were people who attended the event, some portion of it. And so, you know, the segue is to keep in mind that we have Tuesday night product overviews every single week. We have business overviews every Wednesday night. Tuesday night product, Wednesday night business. My point is, let that, if you're not having a Super Saturday locally, let it, and regardless, we should be using the tools to create recruitments. You don't need to be the expert in the business. You don't need to be the expert in the product. You need to send people to take a look. Case in point, last Wednesday night, I actually hosted a team call for a lot of people I've recently enrolled on my team leg to talk about synergies. My point is, I already had a call scheduled at 8:30. I couldn't be on the opportunity overview that Jessica Johnston did with Joe Ames. But you better bet I invited like 12 people to attend that call. I'm going to leverage that. That is the leverage piece of this business, right? And so you need to leverage the tools that we have to help you, because all of you are doing something busy full-time outside of this. Even if you're busy full-time at home, you're busy. So make sure you're leveraging the tools to create the enrollments so that you're simply following up to see what they thought. So I challenge you guys, for everyone, to invite 5 people to our product overview this week and 5 people to our business overview this week. Challenge you to hold yourself accountable to that. Okay. So let's jump into content, because I'm already losing my voice. Tammy, since you're already, I can see your face. Why don't you go first? I'd love for you to share, you know, your experience with Disney, take us from beginning to end and what it was like.
Okay. Well, first of all, I appreciate Jennifer for everything that she did and for taking me, and Lydia as well. But Isagenix does it up right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am so blessed to be with such a great company, because this company just rolled out the red carpet. They had a welcome party for everybody and their families, and it was just incredible. It was awesome. You walk in, it's the greatest party ever, and they have all this Mickey Mouse food and, you know, the Mickey Mouse pretzels, everything that you see there at the park, they had it there. But they had a very own private party for you and your kids, with the Disney characters and everything. It was just awesome. So they did it up right. So all of us need to go next time. Hopefully they'll do it again, but you don't want to miss out, because it's fabulous. I'm very blessed to have been able to have gone. But you just can't say enough good about this company. I just couldn't believe it, because when we got in, we really had no idea. But once we walked in that room, it was like, oh my gosh. Well, even before the room, just coming up on the property, it's unreal what Isagenix does. And then, you know, giving us out little cards and stuff each day, and it's just fantastic. I just can't say enough good about it, but all I can say is we need to work really hard and make that trip happen for sure. It was great. We had a great time.
It's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Tammy. And you're right. They do it. It's a 5-star. When you go to an event with them, it's 5-star. You know, when I went to Hawaii last year for Top Achievers, to this day, it is the most gorgeous resort I have ever been to. And I've never been pampered so much in my life. You come to your room every day, and there's just bukus of gifts just laying there for you, and they just roll out. I agree. I think all of us should be pushing really, really hard with this Leader in Action formula. Jennifer, I know you and Christine got the 5,000 point bonus. Disney's just whetting the palate for what this next trip could be and what top achievers could be for you. So thank you for sharing, Tammy. I'd love to hear your experience as well, Jennifer.
I think Tammy hit on a lot of it. I wasn't exactly sure I knew it was going to be nice. Isagenix, I feel like we're the Mercedes of wellness. But anyway, we got there and it was like a big party. I think if anyone follows me on Facebook, I tried to add and have some fun stuff so everybody could see what it was like. But we had fun. We went ahead and got pictures with characters that you'd have to wait in such long lines for. And then every day they had a different event at a different park. And you got gift cards for free food or beverage or whatever you wanted to at the park. So it was wonderful. And I think the thing is everybody's having fun. Everybody's happy. And at the Grand Floridian, those were at the higher tiers than what I earned. Wow. It's like it would have been crazy. Like I've never been afforded to stay at that top resort. So anyway, I think it's wonderful that they do this. And so many people came up to us, our Isagenix apparel, and they're like, what are you doing? They're like, well, my company doesn't do that. Well, my company doesn't do that. And we're like, yeah, but ours does. So and then we had fun sharing that information. But it was fabulous because my second oldest son, Zach, he's a senior this year, and he had asked me already, do you think we could go on a mother-son Disney trip for graduation? And I was like, I don't know if I can make that happen or if we can figure that out. And then I think it was Melva. Melva seems to track things really well. Melva kept saying I was close, and I'm like, I didn't know what I knew it was Disney, but I didn't really have any idea. So anyway, I just feel like it was a huge blessing that it all fell into place and got to experience that with him. And Lydia's his girlfriend, so that was fun. So anyway, super exciting, but a huge blessing to be able to have that opportunity. Very thankful for that.
I mean, how incredible is that? Like, that just makes me so happy to think about. And like, Walker had major FOMO with all your Star Wars posting. I'm like, oh my gosh, how amazing. How amazing. So did you guys connect with, I saw pictures of you with Amanda Ham. Did you connect and meet some new Isagenix people that you'd never met before or anything like that?
Yeah. Amanda at that original, Tammy, or I saw her after that. Mm-hmm. But we saw her at that. And then you'd already told me that Chelsea Miller, which is Susan and Murray Miller's daughter, was headed to Philadelphia. So she's moving to Philadelphia pretty much within the same time frame I'm moving to South Jersey. So she and I connected at one of the events at Epcot and exchanged phone numbers. So it's a huge networking opportunity, especially within our team because we're all over the place. So Chelsea was excited that I would give her that mom kind of vibe that she needs. She's the young 20-something, and I was super excited that she has that start component that I need. So we're excited to tag team when we both relocate.
That's awesome. I know that it's going to make you guys feel better. You're going to have your own little Isa family as the moment you move, which is just awesome. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that was something I really challenged myself at Top Achievers was how many people can I meet and connect with that I didn't know before. So these events are a great way to network. You know, we've got some really good friends in Australia now. I actually brought Adam onto one of the Get calls a couple months ago, but they live on the Gold Coast and they've invited us out. You know, as soon as we can just pick up all 5 of us and leave for a couple of weeks, we'd love to go, you know. It's just such a great community. So that's awesome. I'm so glad you guys had that experience. Jennifer was so deserving. I mean, you've had a smashing year, and I think that was just the cherry on top for all the work that you've put in 2018. You really deserved it. And how awesome of you to bring Tammy along with you. Just incredible. Cool. Okay. So guys, let's dive into power closing. And I don't have much of a voice. I'd rather hear from you guys. I'm happy to give my 2 cents. But Tammy, I know that you've recently put in some, you're always busy putting in enrollments. And Jennifer, you as well, and anyone else on the line, even Sandra, you're one of our newest consultants who enrolled your two sisters last week. Would love to hear from you. You know, what allowed you to kind of seal the deal with your sisters and have them move forward and get started. So even from our seasoned executives to our brand new consultants, I think the perspectives are nice to hear different verbiage and what you guys are saying to bring people across the finish line to get started. So who wants to go first and share with us what you're saying to close people? I'm going to start calling on you. I'll start with you, Tammy. Jennifer's frozen with a bottle of water in her mouth, so I don't think she can talk. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. We've had terrible, I just now got internet back tonight. There was a terrible fire in our hometown. So I haven't had any kind of internet all day long. And there's like very little phone service or anything in our hometown today. But anyway, to seal the deal, let me think. Seems like I have been enrolling here again.
What do you say when you're closing somebody and they say, you get to the end and they're totally gung-ho and ready, and then all of a sudden they say, well, how much is it, Tammy? I'm so excited to get started, but how much is it?
I'd say it's free.
How is that?
Let me show you how to do it.
Okay, sure.
Because my thing is, that's what I tell everybody. This year, my mission, I kind of go into just a little bit and tell people that, you know, for 3 years, I've talked about these wonderful products because they're amazing, and they changed my life. They gave me my health back. However, I'm on a mission this year, and about showing people how to get their products paid for. So that's what I've been telling them. I've just been real honest and upfront about it and say, you know, I've got these products free since I got started. And I am on a mission to show everyone else how to get their products free. I said, this company makes it easy, and I want to show you how. So go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say that's awesome. And Herb Cepeda says that all the time. And that's why I love that you're saying that. Now, how do you share with people succinctly over the phone when you're closing them without confusing them how they get their products for free? So how is it free, Tammy? Explain to me how it's free, because this sounds really exciting, but I don't have a lot of money.
I basically keep it really simple. And I tell them that we have tools. I have tools to share with them, and I keep it really simple. And I really express that, you know, I keep it really simple. I'm happy to walk you through this. And all you need to do is bring 2 people along with you. I start with that. I say, bring 2 people along with you. This is how much you can that you can earn. I just keep it simple. I don't even go into how much they can get. Sometimes it just depends. Sometimes I'll say, you know, talk about the PIB, but sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I keep it even simple, you know, so simple to just say, this is what you get, you know, as a bonus.
I agree.
And keep it simple.
I agree. Melva and I and her team talked about this just last night. Sometimes we get too detailed about, well, if you bring in 2 people in the same, you start with, well, you can get $100 for value pack. If you bring in somebody else between Monday and Sunday, you can get another $100. It's doubled up to $200 for each one. Now you've made, and that, like, you're confusing people. So like you, Tammy, what I say to people when they get started is, look, if you bring in 2 friends with you this week on a value pack, the company's going to give you $450 in thank you money for introducing them to the product. And now your pack costs you a little over $100.
Right. It just depends. Every situation's a little bit different, but sometimes I'll say that if I have someone really gung-ho and they've already decided, yeah, I want a value pack, then yes, I will say that. If not, if I still have someone kind of like not really decided they want in, but they haven't decided what they're going to go with, then I may just say, you know, hey, this is a bonus that you can get. If you bring 2 people in, you receive this bonus, but it gets even better. All you have to do is help those 2 people find 2 people, and I'll help you do that. So I tell them that, you know, I'll help them do that as well. So they know that they don't have to do it by themselves, because I try to show them how they can make a fast $500.
Right. Awesome.
Just to get them, you know, get them to help those 2 people find 2 people, because I think, because that's the name of the game.
Right.
And that's something that I've just tried to tell each and every person.
Right. Perfect. I love it. I love that. Okay. Who else wants to share how you're closing people? Jennifer Bartram, how are you closing people? I mean, you won the Dash Disney, so I mean, you put in 15 enrollments, and I don't even know what the time frame was. How are you closing people?
I have a totally different approach. I maybe should have more of that approach.
Clearly what you're doing is working for you. Everybody, you can make $1 million 280 different ways, because we have 280 different millionaires and they've all done it differently. So go ahead.
Typically with me, I already know they're interested in it for wellness, and some want it also to pay for the product. So they kind of know, those people know that a little bit going into it. But basically, I stick with really simple. I'm like, you're going to love the products. There's an 87% product user retention rate. I'm loving it. Depending upon, I do that assessment of Amanda's, and depending upon what their goals are from that, then I go a different direction. If it's someone that wants to help their spouse and themselves, then I'm like, you guys, you just need to try it for 30 days. I mean, that's my husband. My husband he's like, if you don't like it, you're not out anything. You just ate it. It's 2/3 of your grocery bill for 30 days. If you love it as much as we do, you're going to keep using it. And then we can help show you how to get your products paid for. So I kind of stick with that. It's pretty simple. And depending upon how they come with me, I really use that 87% product user retention rate. If we have a promo at that time, I use that too. At this point on the communicating the monies, I understand it, but I don't think a lot of my people are going to get that when I initially talk to them. Tammy has great success with that. A lot of other people have great success with that. I've had good success on the confidence, depending upon how they answer their goals, on how it's helped someone in my immediate group. And a lot of mine aren't cold calls. I'm like, hopefully I get to that in my future, and I might change my approach with that market. But a lot of people are people who know me or my husband. And that's how I go with it. I like have a testimony, and normally we don't get to it.
What do you mean by you don't talk about it?
I don't talk about it a lot in the beginning. I haven't had to.
So you just talk about accountability. It's more, you're actually talking about accountability more than you are cost. That let's not do this alone. Let's get your spouse and a friend. It's more about the accountability.
Or I talk about the product primarily. It's proven. I have confidence in that as I'm talking about it. It's proven. Normally they already have an interest in that before we get started. And I'm like, and if you love it as much as we do, I'd love to help show you how to get your groceries paid for. They taste so much better for free. I just keep it simple along those lines. If it's someone, for example, like Jenny, who came in, she came in with network marketing background and she wanted to know the ins and outs. Becky wanted to know the ins and outs from the beginning. I approached it completely differently. And I pray I get a ton more people like that. But for other ones, I keep it simple. I love them, support them through that 30 days.
How would you say you approached it differently?
Because I knew their goals were different. So then I went into the money and I showed them the tools and the visuals and sat down with them and spent more time. Gotcha. If it's over the phone, then I create fear of missing out if it's a really good promo, because genuinely they're saving money. So I feel genuinely helpful that, hey, I'm going to help you get your products cheaper right now because we're running this beautiful promo, and go with it like that. And if not, normally they're only going to respond or follow up if they have a high level of interest. And so luckily it's been successful. But like I said, mine's not a cold market. Yeah. So I think that's probably why this has worked better for me.
Well, and it's interesting. I'm glad you brought up the FOMO because this is something I really want to talk about. Melva did a really good job with this when we were closing with a pharmacist the other day. And Christine Manukin is like the queen of this. I watched her in action hype up real estate and positioning on her team before her event started. She had people so wrapped around the axle about who was going to get in and enrolled first because of the compensation model. So this is a little bit different because she's leading with the business right now, right? But I'm glad you brought up FOMO because, so I'll share both stories. But with Melva, I'm doing my thing, and I think I've done a pretty good job with a three-way call, and I'm like calling it a day. And Melva's like, well, wait a minute. And I'm so glad she did because she was like, maybe we would also just want to talk a little bit about, positioning on the team. And I was like, oh, you're right, right? So, it never hurts to explain to people. I do this a lot. And explain to them that, and I actually love Joe Ames' analogy of the ocean. I think I used this, Jen, at your Super Saturday, that, there's all this beachfront property with Isogenics. And those of us building a business right now are really putting in our stakes and putting in our real estate right now, beachfront, right? We've got a great opportunity. The team is growing tremendously. It's at a rapid pace. But in the next 3 to 5 years, there's still going to be a great business opportunity / there'll be real estate by the beach, but it won't be oceanfront. It's going to be 2, 3, 4 rows back. So you can join us today and have front row property and a huge financial opportunity, or you can join us a couple of years from now. One of the things that we discussed, and I think Christine does this, really well, and Melva and I talked about this on her three-way call, and I do this with all my people who I've been recruiting with LinkedIn is, look, oh, the baby's crying. I'm being too loud. Hopefully he gets quiet. I say, look, now I'm going to whisper. I hope you guys can hear me. Like you said, Jennifer, the products, it's a win-win. If you get on the products, there's no risk. Okay, first of all, the only cost of doing this business is to eat it over 30 days. And if you don't like it, you can return it. The only cost to you is the enrollment fee. And if you came in on a value pack or even a premium pack, that was free. So you literally ate your opportunity and decided whether you wanted to do it or not. Eat your opportunity, decide if it works for you. And if this is a great opportunity, this is where me leading with the business, I get a lot of people in on LinkedIn and then they're like, they get cold feet like, oh, well, that's really great for you. And I'm so glad that's working out for you. I just don't know if I could do what you're doing, right? Like they see where I am in my business now, traveling and doing these Super Saturdays. And like, that's not where I started, right? And I think people get cold feet and they're like, that's so good for you, Melissa, but I just don't have the time right now. And that's where I take a step back and I say, look, you just need to get a position on my team, girlfriend. We're going at rapid pace. You need to grab a piece of that real estate, start eating this food, and you can decide later whether you want to build a business or not and watch that volume accumulate in your back office.
Speaking of that, Melissa, when you do that, which I need to learn that, I need to pull that from you. I also immediately say, you just need to get 2 people underneath you. You're going to go ahead and pay. I don't get into any further than that typically, but I'm like, just get 2 people. Yep. They'll be your accountability partners. We'll do this together. We support each other in that first month. Just get 2 people. And some people that's quick, some people it's not, but they have that in the mindset. And then depending upon how they evolve, depends upon how much more I go into it.
Right. Yep. And you have to feel people out. And what I've found is they get on board and they consume for a little while. And what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of their back office where their volume is accumulating just for being an active participant with the company and say, look what you've done. Like when you decide you're ready to build, this is what you're accumulating. And that really helps create committed consumers. It keeps people from falling off because they think they can't do it. It shows them their real estate, right? I was going to share something about that. This is a great example. So you guys, one of your newest teammates, Kim Little, who just went consultant, very similar conversation. I had this with her. She came in on an ultimate pack about 3 weeks ago, 100% interested in the business, right? And maybe she'll hear this call. I'm not sure. And if she does, awesome. I'm not sharing anything with you that she wouldn't share herself, but she came in really interested in the business. And then all of a sudden her young adult boys came into town that she never sees. One's in LA and one's in Florida. One had his tonsils removed and the other had his adenoid. I don't know. They both had surgery, wisdom teeth or whatever. And during that same weekend, there were some announcements of reorganizations with her company, and she was promoted to this manager position in order to keep her job. And like her life just like went up in the air, and her boys are here that she never sees. And so guys, listen, this is why these conversations are so important. So literally a week ago tomorrow, she called me and she's like, I am so sorry, but I just can't do this business right now. She's like, I can't, I guess it was a little more than a week because she was supposed to go to the Super Saturday in Atlanta. And she said, my boys are home and I'll just never see them anymore. And I just want to love on them. And all this stuff's going crazy at work. And I just can't handle managing this business. I was really interested, but I just can't put the time into it right now. And this is where I had to meet her where she was. Right? I knew a week ago that she bought an ultimate pack and she was really interested in the business. And now all of a sudden her world's been just turned upside down and she feels like she can't handle it. And I was like, Kim, here's the thing. And see, she had come from another network marketing company that flushes volume every month. So that's all she had in her head. I said, Kim, there's no reason for you to have to build a business right this second. I totally get you. I've been in your shoes. Just stay the course and be a committed consumer. You've got a phenomenal position on my team. I think I've enrolled 10 people since the day you joined. Let me show you in your back office. I pull it up. I show her all this volume that's accumulating. And she's like, yeah, but I'm going to lose that at the end of this month, right? And I was like, no, Kim, you're not. That's what differentiates our company from the company you came from, Juice Plus. You accumulate this. It never leaves as long as you stay. And I educated her on being a committed consumer. And she was like, wow, I had no idea. And she's like, well, my girlfriend has been bugging me about enrolling her because she wants to get started. And I just haven't had time. She's so busy. She just hasn't had time. Right. And so I configured the cart for her and put it under her on her team leg, and I sent it to her and I said, fire this off. I mean, don't give away a free enrollment. I said, Kim, let's just get you to consultant so you can cash this out and get your products paid for, hold your position. And in 6 months when the dust settles, let's create your legacy, but let's not give up right now just because life happens. So I fast forward a week and she's consultant. She cycled twice and she's engaged, right? So we have to, we put forth so much effort in getting people into our organization and getting them on the products, but people freak out and people see where you are right now or how much you're pursuing this business and they think, well, I'm not there right now. And we have to educate them that that's okay. You don't have to be there right now. I wasn't there right now. I've been in your shoes. And I even shared with her, I'm like, look, there was a moment when a tree fell on my house and I started a new job and I couldn't do Isagenix. I just told my upline, I'm done. I can't do this. And I didn't for like 3 months. I ate the food and look where I am now, right? So we have to meet people where they are and educate them on how we're different. And I was just like went completely off on a tangent, but I think this is a really great example of where you don't want to let somebody go because they don't know what they don't know, right? All right. Power closes. Anybody else? These have all been really good. Does anybody else want to share any power closes that they use to? Sindra, how did you close your sisters? I want to hear from a newbie.
Hey, yeah. So, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah. So I guess for me, it was just sharing with my sisters how the products had made me feel and how they changed my life. And just knowing my sisters, what they do, knowing how busy they are, knowing one of my sisters is a junk food addict. So just like sharing with her that this is going to help you. It's going to help you in the long term, your health.
Mm-hmm.
And then just sharing that story with them. And then also, I think during that time, we had that 10% off promotion. So I was telling them, you guys get 10% off. So this is the time to join if you guys are going to join. If not, it's going to go back up next week. And so I think it was Friday or Saturday. They were like, yeah, let's do it. So then we enrolled her, both of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I love that because there was probably a little bit of FOMO there too between your two sisters. And it kind of goes back to Jennifer's strategy of kind of getting families started together all at one time. Here you are on your journey and you're feeling good and they don't want to miss out. And if one is ready to pull the trigger, then the other doesn't want to get left behind. I mean, there's some power to that for sure. So I love it. See, there's a million ways to make $1 million. There's a million ways to make $100, right? There's a million ways to change people's lives. Awesome. Anybody else on the line want to share any ways that they've closed lately and sealed the deal on an enrollment? All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. I want to three big announcements, actually. The first one is, clearly I put a bad word and run with me, but I'm really excited about these shakes that are coming out. They're usually out on Tuesdays. I don't know. I've got to go back to the 2-star to 7-star and above business page that I'm on. But they typically are posted on, they typically are released around 10 a.m. on Tuesdays. So we'll find out. I'm sure Susan will talk about it on the Get Call tomorrow. But this is actually, this can be a gateway shake to get people enrolled. The salted caramel was a gateway shake. I got 2 people enrolled with Isagenix through the salted caramel. So definitely still the graphics and go crazy. This is where I get obnoxious about product. And you guys know me, I'm not like pushing product on Facebook a lot. But when we have a seasonal shakeout, I go nuts and I post it everywhere. People get intrigued and they want to try it. And it's a way to get people started on the product. So be aware of that. Also, the Cepeda event, Patty and I have been back and forth. It sounds like they're now going to do 2 days. They swore they were just going to make it a Super Saturday, and somehow they've come to decide that it's going to be 2 full days. I think after the big Boston event, a lot of power players are going to come down from Boston for this Super Saturday. So Laura Thompson, who was a VP of HR, she was the VP of HR at Dell. She's going to be down. Joe Ames, who was a national leader for a national brand, making high 6 figures, like I think between 400,000 and 600,000 a year, who left that to do this, is going to be down here. He won the CrossFit Games after using Isagenix. He's going to come down. But anyway, they're working on an action-packed agenda. Jennifer, I know you want to know what the agenda is. They don't know what the agenda is. Aaron Brower is making it. We were on the phone for like an hour on Friday trying to talk through the agenda. And the baby's starting to cry again. I'm not that loud. He's just sick. I've got what he's got. I'm going to have to go give him some Tylenol. I hope we have some. Anyway, mom brain. So I don't know. I don't have the full agenda, but just know that if you can stay on Sunday till probably 2 or 3 o'clock, that would be amazing. Typically they start a little bit later on Sunday morning. If you like a service, they do like a service before the training starts. So that's up to you. I think the actual training on Sunday won't start till 10 or 11, but there'll be a service beforehand that they'll do. And the last thing is, it's an in Atlantic City in May. Jessica Johnston's going to be there, and I still get it confused if it's an ICU or a University in Action. Hang on just a second. I should have this all together, but coming off a vacation, I don't have it.
It's an ICU.
Yeah. ICU May 2nd through May 4th. I am totally going. It's my anniversary with my husband, and I'm still going. I haven't been to one yet. It's the only Core 4 I've not been to, and I'm super stoked about it. Jessica Johnston's going to be speaking there. We're trying to make it a big get event. So I think Carol Elizabeth's coming. Susan Miller's going to be there. Chelsea Miller. Hopefully, Jennifer, you'll be close by. Well, you won't have moved yet. Yeah. So if you're up for some corporate training and you weren't able to make it to New Year's kickoff, totally look into it. I'm definitely going. I'll be looking for a roommate if anybody wants to room with me. Yeah, so that's it for tonight, guys. So we're going to wrap up early. I so appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for those of you who stepped up and spoke today. And Sandra, I love how new you are and you're sharing how you're doing the do, because at every phase of building this business, there are skills and tactics that we learn from day one. And so I think it's always important the people who are brand new to building are sharing just as much as the people who've been out there for 4 years sharing, because where our businesses are all a different evolution and we can all learn from each other. So with that, I'm going to close out the call. Hopefully you guys can make the get calls this week. Chelsea Miller is like amazing. She does not disappoint. She is a millennial that will blow your mind. Get as many people on the line as you can to listen in your downline. All right, guys, have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.